Hello, good evening. I'm
Hi.
here for the mock interview for your company for the sales management position.
Hi, welcome. What was your name?
My name is Sebastian. You're Miss Vanessa, right?
Yes, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Miss. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So tell me about yourself.
A little bit about me. First off, I came down here in 2018 to attend FAU and kind of stuck around down here. It's a young man's paradise, that's for sure. Besides, like work and school and gym, pretty much just taking it easy, doing some outdoor leisure sports like fishing, archery, shooting. I like to maintain a healthy lifestyle as well. I like to eat well, like I said, work out, go on a lot of runs, spend time with my family really. When I can, play video games. That's only a few hours a week though when I can.
Where are you from originally?
Originally, I am from Atlanta. I spent a good portion of my life there, about a decade or so, from 8 to 18. And then, like I said, I came down here in 2018 to go to FAU. But being up there, up in Atlanta, different culture up there for sure. You got your Southern hospitality. People are a lot nicer. They'll go a lot further for you up there.
So why are you interested in working this position?
Me? Well, I have seen your company do a great job over the past year in the market, and I saw a position open up. I figured I might as well capitalize and come see what you folks are all about. I really took interest in the position you had open because sales management. I've been an associate for quite some time, and I like to step up and have a team of my own and become that leader. And I think I've always wanted to be.
What made you interested in doing sales?
What made me interested in doing sales primarily is finding a solution for the customer and of course the money, right? Sales is one of those few professions where, it's all about, the commitment and hard work and effort you put into it. That's the results you're gonna get. You can go work a $20 an hour job, or you can, really work and do sales. Obviously, it's very stressful, but I'm definitely up for it. As far as the management side, I haven't done too much managing other than beating the lead server on the restaurant floor and fine dining experience. So.
Okay. Could you describe your ideal job?
An ideal job would give me the flexibility for, of course, for me to do the job unhindered, and give me the tools I need to, complete the job and serve the customer best well. An ideal job wouldn't put too many guidelines and precautions in my way to limit me from doing a great job. There's just a bunch of unnecessary bureaucracy, I feel like, especially in these modern day companies where you try to do something, you have to get 8 approvals when you could have just streamlined and gotten 1 approval and gotten the job done. And so a good job for me would be, something that just, you say, hey, we hired you for a reason, you're the professional, get the job done, show us results.
Okay. What would you say some of your greatest strengths are?
Some of my greatest strengths is definitely resiliency. It's that trait picked up from the door-to-door industry. I used to do a lot of door-to-door sales, okay? Solar, pest, alarm, and just staying optimistic, staying out in the field, even if you hadn't had one yes, staying out there an extra hour until you get a yes. Just, that hard-headed resiliency, just, we used to tell ourselves like, oh, let's go get some doors slammed in their face, let's go out there and get some no's because we're gonna find a yes,
Okay. What would you say some of your weaknesses are?
Some of my bigger weaknesses, well, there's only one big weakness for me, okay? And that is, I guess it's to turn off that, pleasantly persistent. When we were kids, we were taught it's bad to ask again, Mommy said no, it's not good to ask her again. It's not good to try to convince her. And, that's where, I would always try to convince Mommy to say yes, and staying on the target and really just, I don't know, overcoming objections when I don't really need to, I guess you could say. The beating a dead horse, there you go. I'd say that is my one and big weakness, is just not wanting to give up on a good prospect.
What have you learned from your failures?
Well, a lot, thankfully. You know, failure has to be seen as a good thing sometimes, you know. Failure gives you the option to, you know, look at the situation, take back a step and say, good, you know, this went wrong, good. Gives me opportunity to overcome it. And so, learning from my failures, I've learned that I really need to just take a step back and analyze every moving part of a situation before I just dive head on in. I think, you know, that comes with maturity and age. The younger I was, I would just dive into a situation and there'd be all these moving parts and I wouldn't know what was going on, but I would tell myself, good, gives me an opportunity to learn. But now the wiser and older I am, I learned that it's okay to just sit back, be a fly on the wall, listen, observe, and then move in.
Okay. What motivates you to do good work?
What motivates me to do good work is, you know, the motivation that it gives others. The better work you do, the better example you are, and the more you can inspire others. And so, being raised the way I was, two military parents, you know, Christian household, we were always taught to do our best. How you do anything is how you do everything. And so, that's something I kind of took home with me. And a lot of people in this modern day and age, you know, they're bums. They don't want to, you know, put in the hard effort and cross their T's and dot their I's. And, you know, that's something I really, you know, look forward to and admire about myself is punctuality.
Okay. How do you prefer to be supervised?
Well, like I said earlier, like the ideal job, you know, they kind of just sit back and let me do my thing. Supervising, I'd rather, you know, some constructive criticism all the way, you know, I can take it. You look at where I'm lacking, you say, hey Sebastian, I think you should do this way. Okay, good. Instead of just being like, hey Sebastian, you did this way and this is why it's wrong. What can you do to overcome that? You know, that's kind of what my managers do now. That's why I'm really looking to leave this job. It's because, you know, I'll come to them with a problem and then it'll get spun back on me and say, okay, now what did you do wrong? Instead of what could you do better next time? And so that's the kind of supervisor, right? Not necessarily too micromanaging, you know, but definitely somebody that can notice if I'm deviating from the path and can correct me with a kind hand. That's the kind of supervisor I want.
So you would rather work independently than on a team, you think?
Well, yes and no. Maybe a smaller team, you know, with the bigger team, the more minds, the more opinions, of course, and you know what they say about opinions. Everyone's got one, you know, but small team, flexibility, you know, long leash, I think that's more of my style. A bigger team, the advantages, of course, obviously, you get more manpower, but I think, you know, you could silo off those small teams and, you know, formulate ideas and, you know, pass those on to a bigger team, you know, have a couple of different small teams agree on one thing and trickle down agreement.
What do you see yourself doing in 5 years?
Well, I know for sure I'll still be in sales. I would like to see myself as some sort of managerial position in the sales world that, you know, has a team underneath them and can, you know, just really lead and inspire others. I feel like in the industry, I've been a heavy hitter and led by example for quite some time. And so I have a lot to teach and I still have a lot to learn. And that's the cool thing about teaching, is that you learn a lot as well. You learn a lot about yourself and you learn a lot about the people that you're teaching, of course. And, you know, that in turn sharpens you. You know, iron sharpens iron. It's my wrestling coach used to say back in high school.
Alright, so you said that you're good at taking constructive criticism. Can you describe a time when you received constructive criticism?
So recently, you know, with everybody coming down to Florida, all the snowbirds, there's been a whole new different crowd that I've been having to negotiate with and sell with and, you know, go through the sales process with. So those new type of people are very short, not so polite, not like I'm used to up in Georgia, like I said. They are very mean and, you know, very cutthroat. That's just their culture, you know, it's not their fault, it's just something I have to adapt to if I want to sell them my product and take their money. And that is definitely something I've had to adapt to, is, you know, being way more patient and taking a back seat more often than not in the sales cycle. Because sometimes these people, they're just so hard, you just gotta let them do their thing. And then you gotta make it sound like it was their idea. And so that's something I did overcome and adapt, is the new type of customer that is down here.
You can fuck up that question.
Oh, really? Okay. What was the question?
Oh, we just cut that part because like that's a good answer, but
No. Keep going.
okay. The question was, describe a time when you received constructive criticism.
So the time I received constructive criticism is regarding those customers from New York. My manager pulled me aside. He's like, "Hey, be a little bit more patient. You know, not everybody's here to buy on the same day. Can't push all these people to a decision. You gotta really just take a step back and, you know, instead of being a bull, you gotta become a fisherman." There's two different types of selling. There's question-based selling, and then there's telling them what they want.
Okay. Can you describe a time where you were faced with issues that tested your coping skills?
So, with the door-to-door industry, there is a huge caveat. You can make a lot of money really fast, but you can also get screwed over really hard. And so, being out there in 80, 90 to 100 degree weather, knocking for 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, get 3-4 deals in the pipeline, and then a couple of them cancel. And you have to accept the fact that I'm gonna wake up and do it again tomorrow and press. That person canceled no matter what, okay? Go and get another one. They cancel, go get another one. And so just, you know, really maintaining that drive, that's where I've, you know, really learned to master my coping skills, I guess you could say, is just just the constant disappointment and the beating down. It calluses you. It makes you a tough person.
Yeah. When it comes to planning, can you describe a situation when you had many assignments or projects due at the same time? How do you finish them all? Or what steps do you take to finish them?
Well, obviously with everything, it's a plan, you know. You gotta start with the plan, 3 P's, perfect, you know, it's 5 P's, sorry. Perfect planning prevents poor performance, okay? Now, as far as the assignments, you gotta look at the ones that are the juiciest, the ones that are gonna give you the biggest grade. You tackle those first. And then obviously there's other ones that, you know, give you a bunch of details for those bigger assignments. Might wanna look into those as well. But obviously, this situation arises every time finals comes around. It used to be when I was younger, I wasn't the best at taking action. I was a little bit of a procrastinator. And so the situation would arise a lot, you know, more, and I would pile everything up to the last week or so and, you know, just get her done. But now, obviously, being proactive, looking at my assignments months before, planning days off to, you know, tackle them, and rewarding myself, you know, because a lot of these people are out here, including myself, we're in this short-term dopamine spike cycle. And so I've kind of mastered my mind to kind of, you know, release dopamine when I want it to.
So you would say you've improved with your planning skills over time?
Yeah, I would say so. I definitely improved my planning skills, leading to not too many situations where I have everything piled up. So.
Okay, can you provide an example of when you had to make a difficult decision?
So, difficult decisions, they always come and go. but a good example would be this customer who came in not too long ago, actually, at the job I work at now, in furniture sales, and they were pretty irate. They weren't too happy with their order that I sold them, and it was either A, I could take the commission hit and return the product and bend my knee, because they did sign the terms that said final sale, or I could stand my ground and be the associate that my company wants me to be and stand my ground. And that's what I did. I unfortunately had to make a difficult decision to remind the customer that there is no refunds and that the product I sold them is final sale. And that was a difficult decision at the time, but looking back now, it's ultimately a decision that was automatic, because you have to stay on business, especially in the sales world. And so, was it difficult? Yes. Did I feel greasy afterwards? No, because I knew I served them. It was a mattress, and it wasn't that it was uncomfortable. It's just that they think that they were going to get a better deal somewhere else when I know they weren't, because they were a little bit elderly and they were trying to get a used mattress that had a bunch of stains on it. And I had to make the difficult decision for them. Be like, hey, you bought the mattress with me first. There's no refunds. It's brand new. Got the better price. You can't find it anywhere else. Or I could have bent my knee and let them cancel, and they would have gotten screwed over because they didn't know any better. So.
Okay. Can you tell me about a time when you had to be assertive?
Every day, especially with these people coming down from New York, had to be assertive every single day. These people will try to negotiate you. Be like, hey, let me get 10% off at the end of the sales cycle. They'll waste your time,
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's the sales associate wasting the customer's time, but no, the customer will waste my time. Be like, okay, give me a discount, or if not, I'll go across the street. I'm like, well, now I tell them, hey, go ahead and go across the street. We got the best price guarantee. You're not going to find the look that you want and a better price, I guarantee it, all right? And if you do somehow, we'll price match it, okay? We're going to make sure it's a legit quote. Some of these people trying to sell used furniture now, but, And so, standing firm with that.
Okay.
Daily, on the daily. Even with the managers too. Sometimes they try to correct me because they don't have the best experience. A lot of DEI hires, unfortunately, and they don't really know what they're doing, especially in the sales manager position, and they'll try to correct the wrong things, and I have to say, no, that's not right. I don't agree with that. And so standing on business to management and the customers.
Could you describe a time when you used persuasion to convince someone to see things your way?
So, obviously every single day of my life there as well. One prime example would be when it comes to the mattress world, a lot of these different brands have a good manufacturer warranty, others don't, okay? And with the manufacturer warranty, you have to associate inspection fees, transportation fees, a big turnaround time. And we sell a service that can kind of curb all that pain for the customer for roughly 10% of the invoice, which should be less than those fees associated with the limited manufacturer warranty. And a lot of customers don't really see that. They see that it's an extended warranty or whatever in their eyes, and they don't see the value of the in-home service. And so it's up to me to, overcome the objection and break it down. And basically what happened is the gentleman didn't want to get coverage on his new $15,000 set. He wanted to go with the limited manufacturer warranty, which I knew in the long run would have screwed him over because he had a lot of moving parts that could have gone wrong. And so I took the main objection, which was a price objection, and I broke it down to the ridiculous. Okay, we were talking about, $12,000 over 12 months interest free, okay, $1,000 a month. I said, sir, you're gonna be sleeping on it every night, right? That's 30 nights a week, or a month, all right? Out of that month, those 30 days, at least 6 to 8 hours a night, right? And by the time it was broken down to ridiculous that he saw the value in protecting his set every single day with us instead of the limited manufacturer warranty.
Okay. Have you ever initiated any projects?
I have initiated a couple projects at work. One of them included basically a kind of like, I guess you could not necessarily like an employee potluck, but like an employee reach out, get together to where we had a bunch of associates get together and kind of iron sharpens iron and really work things out. We do it on the showroom level and we do it on the company level here and there, but I got to put that together and organize that and get everyone together, and so that was pretty fun.
Can you describe a situation in which you overcame a personality conflict in order to get results?
Oh man, that was on the daily, was door to door. I think with door to door, the first two emotions you're disarming are annoyance and confusion. They don't know why you're there and they're annoyed that you're there. And of course that's something you have to overcome immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these people, down here, a lot of people are Hispanic and Haitian, and so sometimes they can be a little bit standoffish, especially with the way I look. They think I'm coming to scam them, and so I have to definitely adapt my personality to theirs and become a lot more relaxed and not have so much sales breath and really take my time and smile a lot and be very calm and patient. And so I've been able to serve families pretty well just because I've been able to relate to them on a cultural level. Just a couple of Creole words when a Haitian man opens the door, you gotta make him laugh. We're not the same. He's a 40-year-old Haitian man, I'm a 24-year-old white guy from Boca. We have our similarities, but definitely a big personality difference. But where we both get on the same personality train is saving money.
Okay, well, can you provide an example that demonstrates your ability to motivate others?
Okay, well, this one time at my job, I was falling a little bit behind on my sales KPIs for the month, and I wasn't going to make a bonus. And there was a solid week left of the sales month. And this is going to be one of our better months, and it was approaching the holidays. And well, long story short, if I didn't pull a rabbit out of the hat, then little kid ain't gonna eat, But I pulled the rabbit out of the hat. I dug deep, had the conversation with myself. I manifested. I said, Sebastian, you're gonna be top of the showroom, buddy. Okay, you're gonna dig deep. You're gonna go in there. You're gonna get not only lucky, but you're gonna demonstrate your skills. And you're gonna secure the W and become number one. And what did I do? I did exactly that. I was behind. I came in there. I overcame, and I became the top.
And how do you think that motivates others?
Clearly that motivates others they just see that and they're like, wow, I need to be just like him, a hard worker, executing excellence every single day, inspires others to do the same. That's what really drives me and motivates me, is just performing at a top level and the people will fall behind, and then really just inspiring them to be better than themselves.
Can you tell me about an important goal of yours?
A very big important goal of mine is, I really want to, formulate a good sales team that has a bunch of good heavy hitters that I run and that I have direct control over, because I know that I can, really grow the best out of people. And so that's something I really want.
How do you think you can reach your goal?
Well, by working hard, getting the right training, working with the right people. Thankfully with the door-to-door industry, I did learn from the best. I did watch the best. And, just watching their model and how they train their associates, I really feel like I can apply it to, this industry that we're in now with the new sales.
Can you describe a time when you had to defend your decision?
So, the time I had to defend my decision would be to, leave the door-to-door sales world and go into the furniture sales industry. I saw the industry coming to an end, and a lot of my friends, they want me to stop making money with them, and I had to say, listen, I gotta slow down. I need something a little bit more structured, and I need to take control of my life and really build those daily habits that are gonna make me succeed. And so that was a hard decision.
Could you provide an example of when you had to go above and beyond the Call of Duty to get a job done?
Oh, so there's this one time this elderly lady purchased a nice recliner from us, and she didn't have the money to pay for the premium delivery. She thought her grandson was going to be there to pick it up, but Granny Boy wasn't there, okay? And so somebody had to step in and get that heavy recliner in her new living room so she could, put her feet up and be comfortable. And if she didn't have that someone to come bring it up, she was going to cancel. It was going to pull my commission. It was going to pull revenue from the store. And so I went above and beyond the Call of Duty to get the job done and install her furniture for her.
That's
Free of charge,
sweet.
of course.
That's
Yes.
very sweet.
Soft spot for elderly women, for nanas.
Can you tell me about the most difficult or frustrating individual that you've ever had to work with, and how did you approach the situation?
Oh my gosh, there are a number of them, trust me, especially in the sales industry. There's a lot of greasy people that get attracted to this industry. But, how do I get along with them? Basically, you keep them at arm's distance, just smile, never talk politics, always greet them when they're in the room. And it goes back to, just inspiring others. They'll look at my performance and they'll look at me and how I treat the job, and you'd be like, wow, I should, really put in the effort that Sebastian does. And, I'll try harder right next time. I'll make sure they're looking, and I'll try harder,
Do you describe your leadership style and provide an example of a situation where you successfully led a group?
So I'd say my leadership style is a little bit different. Instead of, pointing and telling people what to do, I think that's more of like a managerial approach. Leadership is supposed to inspire action in others, I think my leadership style would be, similar to like a cabinet, a president and his cabinet, You gotta pick heavy players around you that are gonna do a good job and listen to them. You get a whole group opinion on a matter, and then you formulate that opinion into an action. And so I feel like, my left and right hand mans are something I'll be really depending on as a leader. And so, and a situation where I did step up and have to lead is when I was working in the restaurant industry, and I worked at a Thai restaurant. The managers didn't really speak a whole lot of English, and I was, one of the older servers that did a better job, and so I was made basically server manager, and so I had to step up and lead a small team of servers to success, and that's a very big learning opportunity for me. Made me realize what I was made of, and everyone did a fine job. I took lead from the front. I think that's more my style. Leading from the front with a nice cabinet who all has their respected opinion.
Would you say you would rather be in a leadership position or like a follower, like under position?
Well, follower under the right person. A good leader always knows when to take help. A follower under the right person can really do, because nobody knows the blueprint. Nobody knows the blueprint to success. Some people are damn close, and so it's up to you to make your own blueprint for your own personal success. And so I'm going to take a little bit out of this person's blueprint, I'm going to take a little bit out of this person's blueprint, and I want to make my own blueprint, and that in turn will make me the better leader. Being a good follower makes you a good leader.
How is your time management skills?
When I was younger, it wasn't too good. But as the older I got, I realized there are consequences, okay, for being late to your job, and not showing up when you're supposed to, and dragging your feet. And so that stopped immediately. probably when my brain fused together when I was about 23, 22. There's just a moment that just, okay, yeah, gotta stop being a slacker, really press on the gas and get her done.
Would
So
you,
I definitely, with time management, I like to do the block style. I like to block out my day and, attack a couple hours at a time. Be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym from 9 to 11. Then from 11 to 11:30, I'm gonna shower and eat. 11:30 to 12:30, you get it.
what do you do when your time schedule or plan has been upset or messed up by unforeseen circumstances?
Well, for me, it's really just a whole lot of, it goes back to my childhood again, Mom and Dad said we don't plan things, I never get too upset. I'm always, Murphy's Law, whatever can go wrong, will go wrong. And so I never really get upset anymore, life is life. You can do a lot and then, we're gonna be here for a long time, so I'll eventually get to it. If something pops up in my mind or in the way of, in my routine, it's okay, it's no big deal. I'll overcome it. And then, I'll go to the gym an hour later, it's no big deal.
Okay. Have you done any creative projects before?
I have done some creative projects. Like I said, that potluck I did, when I organized that, I had to, make the banners and, make an overall theme. It was a good time. Definitely my creative side shown more in my hobbies, I guess you could say.
What would you say is the most creative thing you've done?
The most creative thing I've done, job related, would be that potluck I was telling you about.
In general, I guess.
Just in general, I guess you could say, I used to do a bunch of art with my buddies on this canvas, like big canvases, and I have a couple of pieces hanging up in my home right now. I guess you could say, being a little part-time artist.
That's cool. But you do it with your friends also?
Yeah.
That's nice.